Majo, John, Ned, and Juanito, Akumal, Mexico, sitting in my living room. 4 o'clock in the morning on, I guess this must be Tuesday morning. I think it's Tuesday morning, the 26th. So I'm struggling with my humanity, as I have my whole life. Clinical psychologist and deep student of personal growth and spiritual growth. And the thing that's really putting me through the ringer right now is pain and death. Pain and the fear of death. I have for 3 weeks been going through exquisite cycles of pain over almost complete renal shutdown. And having a chance to look at my own process of being independent and reaching out for help and looking at the people around me and what makes them good at responding and what makes them horrifyingly bad. I'm dealing with a guy, I'm just going to say he's my landlord. He never watches my videos. He wants us to be best friends, but his capacity to be absolutely devoid of compassion for me is shocking. And in my current state, I came out of the hospital last night with a newly installed catheter in my dick that is wildly painful, and they released me with a prescription for pain meds, but no pain meds. So I've been asking the people around me in Akumal to please get me at least aspirin, which they could do cheap, but preferably the prescribed pain meds, and some money from my brother just came through, so there's cash available. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. He showed up at my place and he said, "Oh, you got the aspirin." What, you wanted aspirin? Somehow, several messages, he managed to not notice them. So I wrote him, I did a video that's being posted right now about what's broken in the human heart. And don't name him there. I'm not going to name him here. He'd be outraged. But I have to talk. I have to have an audience. And it's important stuff. So I sent him a note saying, "I beg you, please, please, please get me some pain meds." I scream at the thought of standing up because I know it's going to hurt so much. The dogs are all afraid of me because they scream if they get close to me. I'm losing it. I haven't slept for 36 hours since I got out of the hospital, since that morning. Please. And within an hour, I got a message from him saying, "I'm in Tulum, the biggest town where his wife had said we'd have to go to get the good pain meds, not cheap, not expensive." And I wrote back, "Thank you, thank you. I'm laying down. If I fall asleep, wake me up." And the power just went out. Then my light on my phone went out. So there's no light here. I fell asleep for 3 hours. That was at 7:30. 10:30 I woke up, no message from him, but the power was down. My phone wasn't working. My Wi-Fi was down. He might have been trying to reach me. And I think even though I had taken my phone off of Do Not Disturb at night so my friends could reach me, somehow it had reset itself to be Do Not Disturb. I had to go back and manually do it again. So he could have even been trying to call me. So I said, "Don't flip out. Go look in the yard. The dogs may have scared him and I left it outside the front door, the gate." No, it wasn't there. Okay, don't jump to conclusions. Something may have happened. He may have had an accident. There may be an emergency in his family. Do not blow until you hear him say, "Well, I got tired." Then blow. Then blow. So the whole Pueblo was dark. It just came back on about an hour ago. Whole Pueblo is dark. I'm walking in pitch darkness. I, who had stood up 3 times that day, am walking 7 blocks to his house, calmly, noticing all the dogs barking at me. Princess was walking with me, dog. And I get to his house and start bellowing. "Wake up, despierta!" Necesito mi medicación. Bellowing, shaking the gate as loudly as I possibly could. People are screaming. Dogs are screaming up and down the yard. Guy comes out. It's the wrong house. In the darkness, I'd only been to his house once. I had the neighbor. At first he said he had no idea who this guy was. Then he said, down there, you crazy fucking lunatic. In the U.S., I'd have got shot. So I go one door down, and I almost immediately got apparent that nobody was home. So I thought, well, he had an emergency. His wife's mom is elderly and has health crises. They're at her house. It upstaged everything. So don't keep yelling. Don't keep yelling. Calmly walk home. Calmly walk home. I came home and it worked for me. It worked for me. And what was I going to do? Sit there and simmer? No. And I wanted to scream at him and say, are you not human? Have you lost the capacity to feel? What part of I'm in pain, what part of I'm begging you do you not understand? You claim that you want to be best friends with me. You don't even give a shit about me. I was going to scream all that stuff. But I had walked it off. So I came home peaceful, and then pretty soon the lights came back on. So he'll probably hear from the neighbors. He's going to hear from me. I'll describe exactly what I did, and he'll be outraged. And I'll say, I'm not going to dump on you until you tell me your excuse. Maybe it's something bad. Tell me. I want to hear it. But if it doesn't pass muster, I'll say, that's bullshit. Did you care about me? Did you hear I was in pain? I'd have walked on my hands and knees to get that medication to you. There is something funny. Now, Don Miguel Ruiz is a very famous Mexican philosopher, wrote the book The Four Agreements, and one of the four agreements is be impeccable with your word. Always keep your word. And I have another Mexican friend in this town who giving his word means absolutely nothing to him. It has zero impact on his behavior. If he happens to remember what he promised he was going to do, then he does it. We had a big falling out. I yelled at his wife and it was over, so we never really hashed it out. But I had said to him, do you have any plan to do what you told me you were going to do? Because so far it doesn't look like it. So is it a Mexican thing? I haven't seen it often enough to think systemically it's something Mexicans do. I'm going to have to keep rattling this cage, trying to figure this out. For as long as I've got, I do not know if I ever will have a healthy day again. When I get evaluated by the urologist, he may say, prostate cancer, it has spread here, and here. Could be that. I'm not going to get ahead of myself and assume that. Could be pretty innocent. But it's possible I will never see another healthy day. And so it's got me wrestling with my mortality. Obviously. Obviously.